Hi, we're Blake and Brittany.
And we are behind Average Family Abroad. We moved almost 5 years ago now to southern Ecuador from the United States with our 4 kids and have built a life here.
And on today's episode, Returning to the Old Country, Kids Edition.
Yeah, so we just got back from almost 6 weeks in the United States. One problem we have is that our family is split up in that my family is in Washington State, Western Washington. Blake's family is in Northern Arizona. And so the United States is a really big country. Our friends here don't always grasp that, I think. And so we decided to double dip this time and
visit both sets.
Get almost there, visit one family, and then we're so close, sort of, but not really, to the other set. And so we were able to do that. Blake and I both worked still, so it definitely wasn't a vacation.
It was a trip, not a vacation.
I've heard that with children, it's never really a vacation anyway. It's very much a trip. So
very true.
So we were really tired by the time we got back, but we did take note of some interesting observations. We hadn't been to the United States in 3 years. We hadn't been to Arizona in 4 years.
Yeah.
And so it had been a while and things have changed in that amount of time. But we're looking at it through our children's eyes at this time as, kids who, they're immigrants in a different country now. And so returning to the land of their birth and what jumped out at them, some things were quite amusing, really.
Some surprising.
Yes, especially for our younger ones, let's see, our youngest child's 11 now, so he hadn't been back since he was
6.
No, he moved here when he was 6, but he went back a couple times. Yeah. Yes. 8. I guess he would have been 8 last time. So, so the very first thing, we didn't even make it out of Latin America before this became
Panama. Yeah.
It's I don't know why this was so shocking to our children. It was really funny, but apparently in Ecuador, they don't really use drinking fountains, at least in our part of Ecuador. I'm sure there are drinking fountains. I'm sure we're going to get comments from people being like, of course we have drinking fountains, but I can't actually think of any near us, even at malls and stuff. There just aren't really drinking fountains. So we get to the Panama airport and, we're strategic and bring empty water bottles to fill up, the other side of security. So you don't have to pay for airport water. And, but the kids find a drinking fountain and they had no idea how to use it. It was very funny. Whoa, how do I do this? Pushing the button and trying to angle their heads correctly. What are you doing? You look like a weirdo. Stop.
Yeah, it is there is a funny scene. There's a TV show called Parks and Rec.
We're big Parks and Rec fans.
Yeah, and there's a whole episode dedicated to the way people in Pawnee drink from drinking fountains, which they stick their whole mouth on. It's really gross.
We definitely came close to that. That would have happened if we hadn't intervened.
That's what it reminded us of. It's have you never seen a drinking fountain before?
So, that was, it was okay. Our 2 youngest, I will say, our 2 oldest just sort of watched them in bemusement. I guess they were more drinking fountain aware, but that was really funny. And they were good to tackle drinking fountains for the rest of the trip. After a few lessons, they kind of got the hang of it.
But I get it when you don't know what to do with it, but that's funny. You never even realize that's something that they would have struggled with.
Yeah, so you don't even think about it. So another thing that I'm sure if any of you spend, a significant time apart from friends and families, even within your own country, you go back for a visit after years, and we have lots of, deep and good and long-term meaningful relationships, friendships there. And we were excited to catch up with, friends both in the Tacoma area and in Flagstaff. And our friends, also have children around the same age as our children, and they kind of grew up together when they were little. And it's kind of funny though, after, years, we're all excited to see each other, the adults, but the kids are especially our boys, they're going to be super weird.
Standing around.
Yeah. It's okay, guys, these are our friends. These are our good longtime friends. And these are their kids. They're your friends. Remember, you guys are friends. And they're like, what? We don't know these kids. And we are totally understanding of that. It is a weird environment to put your kids in, a weird situation. hey guys, these are your friends. Remember your friends? And they're all kind of staring at each other or doing side eye, like, and sometimes the kids got over it really fast. Sometimes it took a little longer.
I'm always surprised as to who they didn't remember. Like,
Yeah.
you remember these people? No. Remember their house? No, they always had one house in mind.
Yeah.
Every single time we're like, oh, we're going to go visit these people.
Oh,
Oh,
they
is
the
it this
ones.
house?
Yeah. Yeah. Your friend, your
It's my
cousin.
cousin and her family,
And
yeah.
because the boys had some sort of like
The boys had like a
arcade
video
game
game room.
in
Yeah.
their bedroom, and it had been 4 years since the kids had seen this, but that made a huge
It
impression.
was, you know,
Like,
every
oh,
time.
they're the ones with the arcade game, and they're no, not them, and we didn't end up getting to see them.
That's just
But it's just one of those funny things. Like, okay, guys, you know, they're your friends, so you know, sometimes it took a little bit. Like, you have lots in common. You like them, remember? And certain things brought kids together really fast, like Nerf guns. Those are a great way to bring people together really
yeah.
fast.
Yeah, with the
They had
Washington.
some board games. How it's yeah, it's just kind of one of those funny, like, well, we can't force it, and that's not fair to them. You know, they have
It's
their
funny.
feelings and
Yeah.
memories, and so yeah. But we went through that many times, you know, half a dozen times or more. Just like, remember your friends. So, and that's with, you know, our kids have done a pretty good job staying in touch with friends, but yeah, when you don't see each other for children, you know, 3 or 4 years is a really long
An
time.
eternity,
So, but at the same time, it was neat watching them reconnect with, you know, friends and friends they didn't even remember, and becoming kind of friends on their own terms again. So,
yeah.
oh, this was an interesting one too. Like,
Go ahead.
so our teenager now, you know, she was not a teenager. Well, our oldest, I should say, she's 16. And so she was 13, a young teenager last time we were in the United States. And things have changed a lot in those 3 years for her kind of stage of life.
In
Her friend group, all of her friends for the most part are now in driver's ed, or they're driving and they're getting jobs. And those are not her realities here in Ecuador. Driving here, you can watch our video, maybe we'll link to it on driving here, but it is definitely not the rite of passage that it is in the United States. I can't think of one, like, I mean, I think you could drive maybe at 16 here. What is the legal driving age?
I think it's 16.
In the Campo, I mean,
The Campo, it's 5.
totally, yeah. Some people learn how to drive really young here because they need to for, you know, working on the farm or whatever. But a lot of times, like, families won't have a car, or they kind of share a car among extended families. The 16-year-old is never going to be the priority driver.
Yeah, well, and taxis and buses and everything are so cheap. And
yeah, like living in a city in the United States, kind of. It's not necessary in the same way either. That's true. Like, it's just not, you don't
can
need
walk a lot more places.
Yeah, you don't need to be driving yourself to school or to whatever. And yeah, you're not going to be the one who gets the car. You probably won't even learn how to drive until you're out of school.
We know plenty of adults who don't know how to drive.
Yeah. Or, you know, a lot of young people maybe get a motorcycle, but not a car. So our daughter is just, you know, just chomping at the bit to drive. And we want her to, but it's also more complicated. The driving is more complicated. Our road up to our house is more complicated. And so it's not as simple as like, yes, we will enroll you in driver's ed and you will start driving. So that's something we will start working with her on, because we do think it's prudent for her to be able to do that. But she certainly won't be getting a car and driving herself everywhere. So she's now watching like this kind of diversion of the paths, I guess, of her friends back in the United States and her reality here. And the job thing too, she could get a job here. And we've talked about it. We support her in getting a job. It's kind of one of those, you know, it pays, most jobs for youth here pay very little. And it's like, is that worth your time in your junior year of high school? Essentially, you're going to have a lot of homework, a lot of, you know, you've got some extracurricular activities. Is this the best use of your time? Maybe. There's a lot of benefits to having a job outside of, you know, making a lot of money. So that's something we're continuing to dialogue with her about, because we do think that would be good, but it's definitely not the same as her, you know, for her friends in the States who are just have their jobs. So
I'm
it's
surprised by how normal, okay, it's all out of our friend group. I guess outside in the culture, it's not normal. Like, a lot of youth aren't driving. A lot of young people aren't.
That's what you hear about in the news. But I guess, yeah, everyone we know, they're driving, getting jobs, and it's awesome and exciting. And she has different awesome and exciting things here. It's just a different reality. It's like now she's really starting to see that, like, oh, they're diverging those paths. And so she's very competent in many ways that maybe her friends in the United States wouldn't be, but missing out on those specific things. And it's like, yeah, this is comparing apples and oranges. It's a different way of living, different priorities, and so on. So, yeah, so getting to face a bit of that was a new thing this trip.
All right. This one was fun. So the boys in particular, and our oldest boy for sure, very, very interested in seeing classic cars, cool cars, and then what became our slug bug of kind of was a Cybertruck. Because I don't think, well, there's probably one or two Cybertrucks in Ecuador.
We've never seen one down where we are.
Well, yeah, we've never seen one here.
The kids' friends at school talk about Cybertrucks and stuff, and so our kids were very alert.
Very alert. So everywhere we drove around, it was always pointing out cars, this, that, and the other. And being summertime, right? A lot of cars were out. A lot of people out driving their classic cars or car shows.
They had a Cybertruck tally going on throughout the whole trip, both locations.
I saw something over 20 Cybertrucks that they noted.
Yeah, they were very excited. It only counted if someone else saw it too, to be able to verify.
Yeah.
So there's some controversy.
But it was exciting because all of us would be like, Cybertruck, hey, Cybertruck. Right.
Yeah, it never got old.
Yeah, never.
And all the vintage, classic cars and stuff. They wouldn't do well in our part of Ecuador. And our roads, hence the roads. So you see some really cool, like classic, like Land Rovers and things like that. Really cool, but not like, I don't know, sports cars or Model Ts.
It's not the United States, so you're not going to see, the amount of classic cars that you do.
Yeah, and our son got to go to
available here the same
a car show, which they do have those here, but it was that was a really big one. That was really fun for him, really exciting. So that's something the kids really enjoyed.
Now he just wants to make our car cooler.
Yeah. How can you make our 90s Mitsubishi Montero cooler?
There's lots of ways to make it cooler.
It's not the priority.
Don't have money.
It's kind of funny. This was funny too. Now, granted, it's summer in the United States, and you've heard us talk about the weather here and how it's very consistent all year round, except we're in dry season. So it's like dry or wet, but temperature wise, they're not used to extreme, our kids, anymore. And if it had been winter, it would have been the same thing, only, I guess, opposite. But they were just constantly shocked. It just could not stop exclaiming over how hot it was outside. Because it was hot, in Washington and in Arizona. But then you go inside and all of a sudden it's freezing. So they would be like, how is it so hot outside? And now I'm inside and I'm so cold. And they could not get over the two extremes. Like, where is the happy medium? Because that was so cold in the air-conditioned buildings, because they're not used to that, because nowhere here is air-conditioned. And just the, summer heat.
Here in the mountains,
Yeah, the summer heat waves. And that was kind of funny. They just were completely incredulous over that. So.
Yeah, and it was terrible for us.
Yeah, I just wanted mild weather back, that's for sure.
It's very nice to have. I said, even if it feels warm here where we are in the middle of the day, like the height of the sun of the day, as soon as you get out of that sun,
step in the shade,
it's cool.
Or there's a nice breeze.
And every single night, it's cool. It's never like in Phoenix. Oh my gosh, we were in Phoenix for how many? 3 days, I think. Phoenix it's Phoenix. It's always over 100 degrees.
Well, not always.
Not always. Okay.
That's not unusual.
9 months of the year, it's terrible. Sorry, people from Phoenix, but no, I mean, we were there in a heat wave, and 110 plus, and it's okay. It's 9 o'clock at night, and now it's only 99 degrees. Hey, just not for us. I'm so glad we're not there.
It was intense. They thought the kids thought the water tasted weird in both locations, and actually, like, both Puget Sound area and Flagstaff uniquely in Arizona, I think, you can drink the tap water theoretically. Like, people, that's one of their claims to fame. You can drink the tap water here. And the kids they thought it tasted weird. And I don't know if they chlorinate it differently or what they do to it, or maybe we're just spoiled with really good water here, but they're like, oh, this water's so gross. It's like, it's fine, it's, you can drink this. I know, it was really funny.
I'm sure it has to do with the water treatment and the systems that they run through.
They're tap water snobs. They want their waterfall water, I guess.
Waterfall water.
Yeah. That's kind of funny, because you think South America, like, oh, don't drink the water, but our kids were like,
that's obviously,
don't drink the water everywhere you go, for sure. But.
Yeah, no, where we live, we are blessed to have good water.
Yeah, great water. But yeah, it was pretty
Um,
funny for them to get back to Latin America and be so excited to be able to drink. And
drink tap
they're
water.
just being snobby about it because the water is perfectly fine in both of those places.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's fine. I don't know if I noticed a difference.
no,
I don't know.
it's,
But we drink out of a water filter anyways here. So
yeah, my kids don't.
no, they drink anything.
And I mean, I'm sure a lot of our water we consume isn't filtered and it's fine. But all right, one more thing, and this was really kind of gratifying for us as adults, I think. But again, with our daughter, if she saved up her money and had some purchases she wanted to make in the United States. Notably, okay, we've said before there aren't a lot of like thrift shops in Ecuador and secondhand shops, and we are just thrifters when it comes to clothes and so on. So she was excited to go and stock up on some new things, but anywhere we went, she'd get her receipt and just absolutely outraged by the taxes. She could just not believe it. She was like, look at that. Do you see that? Is this real? How can they take this much of my money? And it's so funny. It was such a interesting little wake up call because I mean, they have taxes, sales tax in Ecuador on non-essential items, but not as high. It's not as striking.
It's definitely striking in Washington State,
Yes.
where everything was ridiculously expensive, partly because of taxes. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was,
It
yeah, it was
reminded
really
me of when we
funny.
were in Puerto Rico. Remember when they first got a sales tax and everyone was horrified because no longer was, oh, look, this item's $20. No, it's $22.50.
Yeah. Yes.
So
So she was
that was fun.
very displeased by that. So that was really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, when the time we went out for
Oh,
breakfast,
the breakfast. Yeah.
my parents sent the 6 adult children with 3 kids and the spouses out for breakfast. And we were so excited because eating out in the United States, if you haven't noticed, is really expensive. And
Yeah.
they gave us $200, which seemed like a ton of money.
To go eat.
And
Yeah.
so we were like kind of gleeful, at least I was. I was like, we are all going to pocket some money from this. This is great. And we get there and look at the prices on the menu and we're like, oh, okay. For breakfast, the
Yeah.
cheap meal out. And that was kind of sobering. But even then, I think the bill for all 6 of us came to $160. And we were generous with ourselves and had a, wonderful breakfast. But I was like, okay. But no, it actually came, after taxes and the included gratuity, it was over $200. We all had to put a couple dollars into it. So that was crazy. So, I mean, the taxes are a thing. I get it. But seeing it from our teenager's perspective, like for the first time, her outrage, yeah, it was gratifying. It was funny. It was sad, all the things. So,
yes.
We'll do another video on more adult reflections on our time in the United States, the good and the bad, lots of both, mostly good, of course.
Yeah.
But, some things that jumped out as us was like, ooh, I forgot about this, or, oh, this is new. So stay tuned for that. But this was kind of from the eyes of our kids. And
all that to say, we're glad to be back.
We are very glad to be home. So happy to be home in our beautiful little corner of the world. So thanks for following along with us and watching these adventures unfold.
Yeah.
You can find us online, right?
At averagefamilyabroad.com. That's where we are. We
respond to emails. Please leave comments on videos, subscribe to our channel, and we will be posting more regularly now that we are back from our excursions as well. So be watching for that.
Back into the swing of life.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to recover after.
It does. We'll have to do a video on just the travel itself because it's pretty wild. But
it was awful. 9 flights.
9 flights for the summer. That was a lot.
That was too many flights.
Too many flights.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys on the next one.